Support WrestleTalk!
The show of shows, the grandest stage of them all, the most must-see event in sports entertainment, the only wrestling event that my mum and dad actually know the name of, the only non-Saudi Arabian show that might actually have pyro. WrestleMania goes by many names, and the 35th installment of it is finally upon us. It's been a long old ride to get here, and the year of TV from WrestleMania 34 has most certainly been a turbulent one. We've seen suspensions, arrests, injuries, medical clearances, hold harmless agreements, people being inserted into and removed from title matches, Royal Rumble wins being nullified, face turns, heel turns. Wait, that's all happened in the last 2 months in one storyline. All that nonsense aside, it's been a rocky road for WWE since last year's WrestleMania, and they'll be hoping to set things right by kicking off the next yearly cycle of programming in the right way. With that in mind, my name is Pete Quinnell. I've hopped on over from Screen Stalker, so together, let's take a look at every WrestleMania 35 rumor that you need to know. Ronda Rousey will leave after WrestleMania. Ronda Rousey is set to face Becky Lynch and new SmackDown Live Women's Champion Charlotte Flair in the first ever Women's WrestleMania main event. And if rumors are to be believed, it could be her last match with the company for some time. It has been speculated for a while that Ronda may take some time out after Mania to start a family, something she has admitted to wanting in the past, but has more recently rebuffed in an ESPN interview by saying, "I honestly don't know why anyone feels they're an authority to speak on plans for my uterus. It's my vagina, my life. Keep the speculations to yourself. Leave me and my reproductive organs alone." Message received. Whether or not she's leaving, her 14 months in the company have undoubtedly coincided with the women's division getting the most focus it has had in the history of WWE. To be able to say that she has helped WWE's women main event WrestleMania is something we can't take away from her. Demon Finn Balor will appear. No one knows the rules of when the demon form of Finn Balor decides to show up. He hasn't been seen since SummerSlam last year, when Finn got himself painted up to take on Baron Corbin. You know, the Baron Corbin that lost in a quick, decisive manner in that match. The Baron Corbin that lost his Money in the Bank cash-in against Jinder Mahal. And the Baron Corbin that will be retiring Kurt Angle. More on that later. Ads that have been running on that pesky WWE network have been showing a lineup of some of WrestleMania 35's biggest stars, including Becky Lynch, Ronda Rousey, Charlotte Flair, Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, and Bobby Lashley. But most importantly, alongside them is the Devil's second favorite demon, Finn Balor. His favorite slot is already taken, unfortunately. Could this mean Demon Boy will be appearing at the show? Maybe. Kurt Angle's retirement match will change. Who thought Baron Corbin versus Kurt Angle for Angle's retirement match was a good idea? Calm. I'm calm. Kurt Angle, in storyline, was able to pick anyone he wanted for his final match in WWE at WrestleMania 35, and he chose Baron Corbin. This choice, to the surprise of exactly one person, was received rather negatively, with it being one of the most disliked videos on WWE's YouTube channel. This unexpected backlash has got backstage personnel reeling, and it's been rumored that they may be reconsidering this match. The fantasy bookers among us originally thought that potential final opponents could include John Cena, Samoa Joe, AJ Styles, Chad Gable, Drew McIntyre, or even Shelton Benjamin. While Kurt has been plucking away at those dream opponents on the weekly television shows, a couple of those names remain elusive. Drew McIntyre has been confirmed for a match against Roman Reigns at the Big Show. Not that one, so that rules him out of the equation. What about Big Match John though? WWE would of course love to have him back for a WrestleMania appearance, so why not to retire one of the best workers in the history of the business? Cards subject to change and all that. Becky Lynch will win. The triple threat for the Raw Women's Championship has been confirmed to main event WrestleMania 35, and deservedly so, despite all the noise and confusion surrounding the storyline in the build for the last couple of months. Considering it'll be closing the show, you'd think they'd want to end on a high note, namely with Becky Lynch capturing the title, right? Well, according to betting sites, Becky is a strong favorite to come away with the belt. And why shouldn't she be? It's recently been revealed that she is the highest merchandise seller in the company, and WWE isn't exactly a company that throws away opportunities like that. Becky has been on the run of her life since the summer of last year, and to crown her as the champion in the main event of WrestleMania no less will be the perfect payoff. The women's titles will be unified. This rumor is one that will probably be answered on this week's editions of Raw and/or SmackDown, but it's looking possible that the triple threat at WrestleMania could be for both Raw and SmackDown women's championships, with Ronda holding the Raw title and Charlotte holding the blue toy replica version of it. How cool would it be for Becky to unite the titles and walk out with both? It's not out of the realms of possibility, considering the women's divisions have been severely struggling to manage since the introduction of the Women's Tag Team Championships. Unifying the Raw and SmackDown's women's titles would no doubt free up some room for the rest of the division. While there have been no concrete reports on this, it would only make sense. They could always have a double champion. I mean, UFC did it with Conor McGregor. Speaking of which, Conor McGregor will appear. Former UFC champion and all-round unusual human Conor McGregor announced his retirement from the Octagon on Twitter this past week. And as the Irishman is just 30 years old, you'd have thought he might want to do something for the next 50 years of his life. He's undoubtedly someone Vince would want on board, with his unquestionable charisma and mainstream media presence. A man like McGregor could draw a lot of casual fans back to the product. When he made his little announcement, a certain Finn Balor commented on it with, "See you at Mania, brother." And unless this is some kind of Irish slang I don't understand, I reckon that's Finn Balor inviting Conor McGregor to WrestleMania. Now, Finn is a bit of a social media troll, as we've seen, but the timing of McGregor's UFC retirement and the fact he's a self-admitted pro wrestling fan adds up to one hell of a rumor, don't you think? The only issue now comes from McGregor's allegations that he's part of at the moment, and it's just a matter of time to see whether WWE will be willing to risk the backlash from having McGregor appear on the show. Speaking of controversial figures, Hulk Hogan and Stone Cold will appear. It wouldn't be WrestleMania without a conveyor belt of wrestling legends making a sad parade across our screens, much to the nostalgic delight of all those in attendance and those wearing rose-tinted glasses. You can call me cynical all you like, and you'd be 100% correct. There's a couple of huge names rumored to be appearing at the show this year, with reports floating the names of Stone Cold Steve Austin and the controversial Hulk Hogan prominently. The pair of them, alongside The Rock, had one of the coolest moments of WrestleMania 30, when they stood alongside each other in the ring and shared a beer. So this time maybe they'll upgrade to a single malt whiskey or something. It will be the longest WWE pay-per-view of all time. What's the longest thing in the world? That's some good answers, but you're wrong. The longest thing in the world is WrestleMania 35, which is currently rumored to be running for 8 hours. For those of you who only understand time in terms of film length, like me, that's like watching 2 extended Lord of the Rings films back to back, or like watching the first 4 Harry Potter films back to back to back to back, or like spending an hour in my company. Randy, did you write this? Come here, you little shit. The current confirmed card is Ronda Rousey versus Becky Lynch versus Charlotte Flair, Brock Lesnar versus Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns versus Drew McIntyre, Shane McMahon versus The Miz, Daniel Bryan versus Kofi Kingston, AJ Styles versus Randy Orton, Triple H versus Batista, Bobby Lashley versus Finn Balor, Samoa Joe versus Rey Mysterio, Sasha Banks and Bayley versus Beth Phoenix and Natalya versus Nia Jax and Tamina versus the Iconics, Kurt Angle versus, hopefully not, Baron Corbin, Buddy Murphy versus Tony Nese, and the Andre the Giant Battle Royal. So far, that's 13 matches. You also need to add the Women's Battle Royal, a SmackDown Tag Team title match, the fact that John Cena is rumored to appear, and musical performances from Elias, Alexa Bliss shenanigans, and endless visits to the satanic social media lounge. Thankfully, I've been living on nothing but Red Bull for the last 8 years, so I'll be fine. Kofi Kingston will win. Now that Kofi is finally confirmed for WrestleMania, although there's one more episode of SmackDown Live to go, so that might change, we can start thinking about if he's going to win the actual belt from Daniel Bryan. Well, according to betting sites, he is, because they have him as a strong favorite to topple the vegan villain, finally crowning Kingston and giving the fans what they've so desperately wanted since Kofi was a last-minute replacement in the Elimination Chamber. Fickle! Seth Rollins will win. Similarly to Kofi, fans of the bettings should plonk a few dollars or Queen Elizabeth coins on Seth Rollins, as the Kingslayer is favourite to change his name to the Beastslayer by defeating Brock Lesnar. Of course, we've said this at least 100 times that Brock will lose and leave, but this time we really mean it, promise. But how will Brock lose? Could a UFC champion turn up and cost him the victory? Well, funny I should ask myself that. Daniel Cormier will appear. A UFC feud has been bubbling under the surface between Brock Lesnar and Daniel Cormier for some time now, with Brock appearing at UFC 226 and shoving Cormier like the hard man that he is. He's all buff and hard man. In response, Cormier stated in an interview with ESPN, "I may go to WWE's WrestleMania, and I may go cost him his title over there so he can hurry up and get to the UFC so I can beat him here." While that's probably just talk, you know the saying, never say never and all that, Bray Wyatt and Luke Harper will appear. One of my other favourite sayings, however, is "new hair, new me," which, as we all know, is complete nonsense, because I have none. However, the original saying is actually "new hair because I'm possibly returning at WrestleMania and I need to look fresh," and it was originally spoken by Bray Wyatt. A photo of Bray with new white locks was shared on social media this week, so the above saying is very much in play here. The Eater of Vacant hasn't been seen on WWE TV since the fall of 2018, and it seems like he's been scheduled to return every week since. But you know, he did return last year at the Andre the Giant Battle Royal, so why not have him do something equally pointless this year? Oh yeah, and Luke Harper is in the same position, so maybe he and Bray can return together or something. I don't know. Rob Gronkowski will appear. Remember the Gronk at WrestleMania 33? Well, expect more of that, as WWE are rumoured to be signing him after he announced his retirement from the NFL recently. Maybe he could come out at Mania and attempt to help Mojo Rawley win the Battle Royal again, only for Mojo to turn on him, setting up an epic year-long blood feud culminating at WrestleMania 36 with a 2-square off in a running shoulder barge match. Or you know, maybe not. Although, if his finisher isn't called the Emperor's New Gronk, I'll be very sad. I will write strongly worded emails. But those are of course just rumors. Check out the cold hard facts in the WrestleTalk news video to the right. And you can also check out me and all the other cool people over on Screenstalker, so click the other video on the right to be taken over there. Leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe, enable notifications, and leave us a comment. I've been Quinnell, and that was wrestling.